FCR Media. Can everyone hear me okay? FCR Media is a group of companies that actually started in the 3 countries in the middle, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. And they are invested by a group called Bobcat, private equity group. And we've been expanding since beginning of 2012 and into 2013. And we are now in Ireland, Sweden, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Romania, Russia, Finland, and Sweden. That's kind of diverse markets there. The group as a whole has over 30,000 Google AdWords customers. And we are PSP in the majority of the markets we're in. We have over 20,000, up to 25,000, I think now, website customers. And we have, in this slide, 2,000, but I think it's a bit more than that, mobile optimized. So these are separate products that mobilizing your website. What's most interesting is we only have 4 out of these 10 countries have printed products. And only one of them actually has a white page product. And as all the old school publishers know, white pages usually cost you a lot of money to produce. And everyone's questioning about the value that brings. In Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, there's a lot more focus on directory assistance and the old, what we used to call operator-assisted yellow pages, enhanced DA services. And there is basically maybe 10% of the revenue is in print in those markets there. But when we look at all of our markets together, when we look at all of the markets around the world, we're all facing the same thing. We're all having customers who like us for the print product. Then we have the customers who love us and think we can take them further. Then we have the people who think, you don't know what you're talking about, I don't like print, and you can't sell me anything else. And I think those 3 groups are pretty much standard across the world. At least that's been my experience. When I look at those groups, I start thinking, what are we going to do it? We've tried to launch new products. We've tried to position ourselves. But I would challenge most people, and perhaps Zap Group might be the one with the price comparison and a few other verticalizations, that's delivered more of a quantum leap in results. I think I started talking about print coupons in the 1990s, and now in 2013 we're talking about couponing online. I don't feel like we've really got that far, and I don't think it's generating 100 million euros in revenue for us. It's also pretty expensive to do the product development. We focus a lot of time on cutting our costs. We focus a lot of time on trying to put our dollars in the right place. We heard yesterday about partnership opportunities. And I think as we move forward on partnership opportunities, that is how we're going to develop a lot of our technology for our digital services. But when we start talking about POS sales, I used to try and sell Yellow Page and video cable bundles once. They really didn't go well together. It's a very difficult sale and a very difficult way to manage it. But what we need is results. So we have always focused in the past on proprietary products because those are the ones that drove our margins. When we started getting into third-party products, we had a bit of a problem. Our margins eroded, our shareholders didn't like it. And I'm speaking generally as the industry here. But I could go to a board meeting tomorrow and we'd have the same discussion. We've got to be more flexible. And when we talk about the digital, we can't really compete head-to-head for direct traffic. You may have a very strong brand, but I was asked when I was redesigning one of our search engines in Sweden, why can't it work like Google? And my answer was, I don't have 25 billion a quarter to invest in creating this brilliant logic. So we know we can't be bleeding edge developers, but we know there are bleeding edge developers out there, and we must recognize that the barriers to entry are online. Most publishers in Europe have lost significantly and are losing approximately 20 to 25% on their print revenue a year. And that has been going on for quite a while. And I think we heard yesterday that who's giving our lunch? I think it was you who said this, Paul. It's not Google got a large chunk of it. Yahoo may have got some of it. But now let's start going, where'd that money go? And the answer is it went into these people 200 to 300 per city that are mom and pop, or actually mom and pop sons, who started their own web design company. They're selling online, they're selling banners, they're selling Google. That's where our money went. And we've got to get it back. Because the only thing they're offering is third-party services. So what we've done, as I turn my back on the audience, is we came out all new. We made a philosophical change because what we used to do with our online product is we said we have a print product and guess what? We have a print product online as well. It's called an IYP. But the reality is that's still focused on the proprietary area. We're trying to do bundles around that. And then, yes, we've added AdWords and we may have added banners or network sales. But when we look at it, we wanted to change our actual business philosophy. And our philosophy is basically, wherever your customers are searching, I want to sell you there. And that's a big difference on our approach before. Because before, I focused primarily on the bundles, and I focused on my bundles, and if I had something to add on, I would. And that's why it led to this very complicated chart that I created one day. We think there are basically three areas where people work. They research and purchase, they engage and share, and then there are internet services. And if you look at where our group product mix right now is, the majority of our revenue, the arrows, the larger the size, the more revenue there is, and the darker the slide, the arrows, the more sort of important it is to us right now. And if you look at this, we're not very diverse. We have a lot of partners out there, but we haven't managed to diversify. We're still focused in that top corner, the top left-hand corner on print and IYP. But this is where we want to be by 2015. We want to be focused at the very top on internet platforms, which is the new landing page for the customer. This is where value-added add-on services will be delivered by our group. And this is what we're starting to mean about being a digital advertising, a digital marketing agency. We can have all these additional products. We have the social media. We have the partnerships with Nokia. We have the partnerships with different networks like Electric Media and ARM. We have Google partnerships. We have Bing partnerships. We have the mapping partnerships. How many people have mapping partnerships here? One? Thank you, Neil. But the mapping partnerships are always interesting because it's another way to get our information out there. So what are we looking at as a digital agency? Well, the digital side of the business is on standardized websites, but it's also on customized websites, creation of mobile, SEA, SEO, on our own sites we create, but also on any other existing site we have. Social media, very important. We heard about blogging yesterday. Online display advertising. Analytics is something that's going to become more and more important in the future. It's providing services to business to provide better analysis of their traffic and also better conversion data on that traffic. So what do we have? And this is a very busy slide, and I'm surprised you're not taking pictures of it, so I'm not going to read all of it. The ClearSite website is our core product. That is going to be what delivers all of our enhanced services that we add on to that product. You can do the SEA, SEM campaigns, and you'll hear how we bundle in order to drive traffic as soon as we fulfill that product. But there's a key issue here is, can we deliver that information? Do customers believe that we can deliver that to them? It's all very well having a slide saying this is what we want to do. Can we deliver it? And I said earlier, SMEs are the same all over. The majority of our customers are between 5 and 10 people, businesses, and I think most of your customers are between 5 and 10 businesses. But our current customers like us, but they always have these things in common. How many people can relate to these three comments whenever you're trying to sell? Yeah. I've actually worked in 9 different countries for extended periods of time. Not been consultant, but actually lived and worked. I can probably give you the same objection to every single one. It's those print guys again. I already have a website. So how are we trying to rationalize this? How are we overcoming some of these? We're fundamentally changing our sales story to reflect the DMA. In our bundles, we're leading only with the online bundle. When you look at how we lay it out in the sales call, the print product is an afterthought in here. Now, we have a bit of an advantage. In most of our markets, we only have 4 markets of our 10 with print. But if you look at Ireland, Ireland has approximately 60% of its revenue in print right now. And some of those customers are massive. They're key account customers spending 30, 40, 50,000 euros with us. I can't come along and I'm going to sell you a 50,000 euro website. It really doesn't work that way. So we still have to manage this transition just like you're going to have to manage this transition. However, in Sweden, our mix is less, and in Estonia, our mix is non-existent on the print. So we can move very, very quickly there to this model. We talk about websites and driving traffic, not just about ranking on IYP. Historically, people say, oh, you buy a website, you get a ranking on IYP. We're the only ones who care about that. The first thing is we can create traffic to your site through a variety of means, one of which happens to be IYP. And you'll see later on when we do our bundles how we do that. Educating the sales force. I know this is a big one for Peter. Our approach is you only need to educate them enough. And that's really important. You need to have them with basics, and you basically need to have them not as internet expert, but as internet conversant. If you heard the New Zealand video, they said that their sales call had gone from 30 minutes to 2 hours. It shouldn't go to 2 hours. There should be more experience in your back office that you can close the deal with a certain level of knowledge because you are experienced, you do have a relationship with these customers, but then you have to pass it off to the back office experts. Now, one of the challenges we have, and it will be a challenge all the way up to 2015, is making sure our back office systems work well. And that we can. I mean, I was stunned that you said So Local gives within an hour they're getting a call. Well, I guess I have my goal for 2015, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do an hour in turnaround time like that. But it's a good approach because we want that connection. And what we also do, and I'm going to come back a bit on educating the sales force, but we want to change our online brand. The speed at which we change the online brand is different. In Sweden, we were known as Lokaldelen, and our online product was called lokaldelen.se. So whenever we called, we said Lokaldelen. They said, oh, the print guys. And then they say, yeah, we want to sell you online. Oh, what are you selling on? Lokaldelen.se. Not so interesting. So one of the things we're trying to do is separate the brand, online brand, from the offline brand. And we're actually going to be selling under clearsearch.se and Lokaldelen print. And that's an important change, a very important change, probably the most significant. If you build it, they will come. It's not an internet strategy, which most businesses see. I want a Facebook campaign. Lovely, thanks very much. Did it bring me any value? I don't know. I have a website. It doesn't work. We are trying to focus on the traffic drivers and the optimization and using AdWords particularly to drive. The IYP is an additional traffic driver to your website. It is not what you're buying. Does everyone understand that difference? It's a significant difference. My nephew, my son, my neighbor, my friend built my website and they can do it, but will they support it? And that's a really key thing because we called customers up, and I did this in the States, and they said, yes, we'd like you to look at our website. Well, can you send us the login details? We'll do some SEO on it. And he says, well, my son's at college and I can't get a hold of it. So this thing hasn't been updated since it's been built. So actually making sure on these two items that they're getting traffic and a website is a living thing. You can't just build it and throw it out there. But that's sort of the level of knowledge a sales rep needs. Because our sales reps, when they sell print ads, are not Photoshop experts. Maybe not the most We don't need to be talking about cost per click plus ad depth plus competition plus long tail. We need to give them a cheat sheet, a glossary of terms that they can manage to deliver. And I can speak from experience on this because in Ireland, we overtrained them. We had them looking at source code. Open your website. I'll look at your title tags and meta tags, and I'll go through all of this and look at your content. Guess what? We became consultants. We sort of stopped being sales rep. We became consultants, helping them fix this website. And I think that's an important area. So I just need to check my time right here. And my stopwatch is working. Yes, it is. Now, so 3 countries with 3 different market conditions. We have a lot of customers, 40,000 in Sweden, 16,000 in Ireland, and 23,000 in Estonia. But we have significant difference in Estonia to Ireland and Sweden on our ARPA. And if I was to throw the Czech Republic up there, it would be somewhere in between the two. All of them have a well-known brand or a strong brand. In Sweden, we're actually behind an era in the market. So I'm actually quite happy to hear they're getting rid of their regional books. But it is a highly competitive market, and it's not just highly competitive on the print side, it's highly competitive for the 200, 300 digital marketing agencies, the small businesses that are taking away all of our digital potential. We have low print usage, but in Ireland we have very high print usage. There is no print usage really in Estonia, but they have a DA service. So how do we handle the speed to market? In Sweden, we believe we've got a pretty moderate risk, pretty low risk to transition to a digital offering. Mainly because our customers invested in print and online ranking, but we only have 2% of our customers with websites today. We want to turn that on its head, and I'll show you how we've done in the last 5 weeks on this a little later. Ireland has had bundles, but they've had multiple bundles. I think, Paul, you said yesterday, So Local has 17 brands and 5, I believe it was 5 packages, basically. I think Ireland has 25 different packages, which is quite complicated because what we're trying to do is we're trying to force all of those people into a package to be able to come back. But they do have approximately 4,000 website customers currently. But they need to drive more. And in Ireland, or in Sweden, we're currently at that level in about 6 weeks. So we're selling much more rapidly. But as I said before, they have a significant risk to a fast transition, whether they separate the brand, whether they go to websites, because they have 60% of their print revenue. In Estonia, and this goes for Latvia, Lithuania, and actually Romania and Czech Republic, they have almost no risk to print revenue. So they're going to go full-on digital media agency. And they are going to start adding on services and products around this website that will drive the revenues. Oh, I already told you that. So some of the lessons from Sweden. We decided that since we were in a secondary position in the market, we actually wanted to move faster. Our print revenues were declining. And we weren't replacing them with bundles. We were trying to sell ranking and then sell a website separately. So the focus of the sales call was on old listings still, a bit of Google AdWords, and they had a multiple contact strategy, but they didn't have a clear strategy of what they were going to sell during the multiple contact. And this is important for all the speed of transition. I know Peter was talking about 12-month, once a year sales calls. We're actually going for 3 to 4, and ours are basically telephone-based. But we're looking at more 3 on average, potentially 4 for the high potential businesses. Some will get 1 call. It goes back to segmentation. But we need to have what we call a purpose. And we need to have that clear upsell strategy. Google AdWords are a key part of our bundle. They are hard bundled into our website. help them along by hard bundling a 3-month Google AdWords contract in there to start proving the value while Google indexes the website, while Google starts ranking the index and start going forward. And this has been very successful because it also gives us a reason to call the customer again in 3 months to renew his AdWords, saying, hey, this worked, why don't you renew your AdWords and keep the traffic coming? And we've seen about a 50% renewal so far in the first 5 weeks where we've been selling it. We're now into our renewal period of the first customers, and we're seeing about a 50% retention with about a 30% increase in ARPA. And we had to change the brand. Localdelen is print. It screams print. I don't care if we put localdelen.se on the print of the book, it's still a print product. We weren't seen as innovative or digital. But this is how we moved our bundles forward. And we still have a lot of work to do on this. This is our first attempt at it. And we're going to refine this down. I'd actually like to get this down to 4. And I'd like to change very clearly that first box. Sorry, box statements are in Swedish. But the clear site is our website. And currently what we're saying is that that is part of clearsearch.se, which used to be localdelen.se. Eventually, we're just going to replace that top box with website, clear site. And then we're going to add down the bottom, oh, and you get ranking, which gives you traffic, and you get ranking on our mobile, and you get your AdWords bundled in. These are 3-month contracts, short-term contracts, and that's really important. And then as you see down the bottom, we have these print books. These are the only ones we offer. And then at the bottom, it's the reporting. It's the analytics reporting, and it's the clear site reporting. So how many clicks are you getting to your clear site? And I can tell you where they're coming from, but also how your AdWords are going. And this is how we explain it to the sales force. Because we have a bit more than just an online and a print product. We have a foundation package. And what you saw here is basically our foundation package. It covers your IYP, your website, your mobile, your AdWords, and your reporting. But the next one are the traffic drivers, and those are the Google AdWords. Those are the banner campaigns. Those are the Facebook ads. And then at the top we have the social media package. And the social media package will set up your page on Google+, Google Places, and Facebook. Now, all of our operations can do this, and will be doing this. The question is when they're ready in their sales canvases to do it. The biggest question for us is really Ireland, because it's print dependency, and its positive image of its brand, Golden Pages. The other brands in the other markets that have print aren't as strong as Golden Pages. So it makes a big difference on your speed of transition there. So a nice, pretty clear colored slide. What this does is if you're going to make multiple contacts to a customer, you have to have something that you can upsell them on. Otherwise, don't bother calling them. We talked before about relationship management, and we were suffering at our low-end products, which were giving no value, bold listings in the white pages and things. We're having a 30, 35% to 40% cancel rate because there's no value. And I said, well, why would you want to call this guy up again? Oh, we're relationship selling, we want to have that contact. And I said, there's no relationship if they just jump in and then they jump out. That's not a relationship. So what we want to do is we want to look at the different options. So we have to start with that foundation platform around the website. And then we add the AdWords on top of it that lands on the website. Then we add the digital packs, which are our social media packages. And if you buy a social media package, then I can sell you Facebook ads. So, as we've got this progression, we now have a logical step through on the sales call on where they need to go. But rebranding was the most important. And actually this got, on Friday, we launched it to the company. And from the salespeople, we actually got a standing ovation. Because they felt that they were calling these markets and they couldn't get to the conversation about digital because they couldn't get past the name Localdelen. It was print. So we rebranded ourselves as clear search websites. We can do AdWords. And oh, by the way, for your offline, we can sell you the local deal bundle. And we can give it to you as a bundle price, which is great. So we've actually changed the discussion right on that first sales call. And they started selling on Friday, and the results weren't a disaster. So I think from a marketing perspective, I'm feeling okay for one day. I slept well this weekend. When we talk about educating our sales rep, this is some of the sales material that we want to use. We actually use this in Ireland, very similar, and we use it here. Google search engine results. I think 90+% of all local searches in Sweden start on Google. So if I tell you that, and I say, do you need an online presence? Look at this. I can fulfill all of this. I can put you on the AdWords side. I can put you on the Clear site. You see you would rank here with your website. I can sell you SEO. I can sell you social media. And I can drive traffic to you. Oh, and I can sell you Google Places, if they'll send me the postcard to validate. Sorry, that was just everything. I keep saying that to everybody, everyone from Google I meet. Can you get away from the postcards? What this bundling's allowed us to do, we weren't a poor seller of Google before, but when we went to the PSP program and we decided we wanted to hard bundle it, we're selling almost 275 Google packages a week. And that on 3-month contracts now. So we're putting the revenue in, we're getting it to our system, we're pushing it through over the 3 months, pacing it out, and then we're calling them up and renewing. And like I said, we're at a 50% renewal rate right now, which I'm actually very happy with, because it means the rep actually sold them and told them Google was in the package when they bought it. On this, we've doubled the number of ClearSite customers in 5 weeks through this bundle approach. And I expect this number to actually increase as we change the brand. Because we made the bundle change, and then we changed the brand. Ideally, I would have done it all at one go, or even done the brand change before. But we're actually selling about 400 websites a week. Some of them very basic. But when I call them back, I can take your 1-page website to a 5-page website or a 3-page website. So the rep always has a reason to call the customer. Objective 2015, we want to move some of that back towards the back office fulfillment people who are interacting with the customer to make sure their AdWords are going on renewals, so that the rep can focus on getting new customers in, as well as being available to his existing clients, but to get the new customers in. That's what we did in Sweden. In Estonia, the difference we'll have is that instead of bundling print, we'll be bundling DA service as part of this. So it'll be an online offering, a website offering, a DA service ranking, and Google AdWords, and we'll be launching that, I believe, January 1st. In Ireland, we already have 4,000 websites, 16,000 customers, heavy print. They will work through their bundles and streamline their bundles over the next year. So over 2014, they'll be streamlining where they go. But I hope that gave you some insight into how we're taking the plunge on the one hand and also dipping our foot in the other. So depending on the things, I think probably half of your, I'm just going to make an assumption, probably half of the operations here, I know James, you're more heavily in the print side. I think Hong Kong is also heavily in the print side. You may be more closer to our Irish example. However, in Sweden, it's actually our biggest operation. It's about 50 million euros, 48 or something. But when you look at Sweden, we're actually taking quite a big risk to do this. But it's about sort of confidence in what we can deliver online, changing the brand to convince people we are the ones to go with, and educating the sales force just enough so that they could do it. I think my timer just went. Or is it you getting a text? So like I said, I think Sweden's proving that the transition can work. And the strength of your brand will, because I really believe that one of the from your online brand. How fast you do it and how hard you do it. I don't believe in two sales forces. I believe the bundle approach is correct. I believe fixing the back office to be more of the fulfillment of that and the expertise in that is where it's very